What's going on, everybody? Waiting for my feed to pop up, and there it goes. I was going to do a quick update with you guys, kind of give you a little bit of insight on what's going on. We do have thunderstorms. We have a bunch right now. It's just moved through where I live. I live in western Arkansas. It's quite noisy. This is kind of where we're at as of 10:13 p.m. It's Saturday, May 17th. We've got storms moving through western Arkansas now. From Dardanelle all the way down to Waldron. These storms just moved through the Fort Smith area, Greenwood, Mansfield. Quite noisy. From experience, some gusty winds at times. I didn't hear much hail. I don't think there's a whole lot of hail with this, but certainly noisy as it moved through. We did have a severe thunderstorm warning here in southwest Arkansas near DeQueen and Little River in Sevier County. That's moving towards Dirks now, Dirks and Locksburg. There might be some hail in that, some gusty winds, but no severe thunderstorm warnings in the state for now. We'll see if that changes. If you're in Little Rock, if you're in central Arkansas, there is some activity to your west. All of this is moving east-southeast right now. Maybe a little bit more easterly than southeasterly, but this chunk of storms is moving off to the east. It's a little further north than I anticipated, to be honest with you. It's a little bit more northwest than I anticipated. And we do have some stuff down in South Arkansas too, scattered activity. It was expected. The reason why I wanted to hop on live is I did a live update earlier, but a lot of people asking questions about tonight, and I want to make sure everybody's kind of in the loop. This is round number 1 that we're dealing with. We have storms moving into western, southwest Arkansas. This could filter into central Arkansas with time, more so in South Arkansas too. North Arkansas is clean right now. We don't have a whole lot of activity going on in the northern sections of the state. I do want to pull up the National Weather Service in Little Rock, the watch map, because there are sections of western Arkansas that are under a severe thunderstorm watch, along with some of southwest Arkansas too. I want to put that on the screen real quick and go over that with you. So we have a large chunk of southwest Arkansas, south central Arkansas in the, what is that, a pink shading, purple shading, whatever we want to call it, guys. But you can see here, El Dorado, Camden, up to Hot Springs, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Mena, Texarkana, all under a severe thunderstorm watch. Through 2 a.m., I think the watches in Sebastian, Crawford, maybe Scott, and Washington County is until 4 a.m. So that tells you that we have another round of storms expected tonight. So this round that's moving through is not going to be the only round that we have. And of course, I'm referencing this right now. So all of this that's moving through, this is round number 1. I think we're going to have another round tonight, and I can show you the model's thought process on how that will evolve. We spoke about this earlier on the live stream. It really hasn't changed for those who were present earlier for the live. But this is a model showing storms moving through now. We could have some more develop later. You can see this in western Arkansas. They're near Fort Smith, down near Mena. And this could move into central Arkansas. Now, I'm curious to see how this evolves, because I do feel like the atmosphere will be a little bit overworked. I don't think the severe weather risk with this will be real high, but we could have additional rounds of some gusty winds tonight. Hail, this is for 5 a.m. Sunday morning. So late tonight, early tomorrow morning. Storms tracking into western Arkansas between that 4 a.m. hour, moving into central Arkansas in that 3 to 5 a.m. hour, maybe closer to 6 a.m. for some of you. And that tracks off to the east towards Mississippi, and then we could have a redevelopment in northwest Arkansas tomorrow morning between 7 and 9 a.m. So the pattern is unsettled over the next several hours. And then I did get new data in since the live stream earlier. I do want to show you that now. We could have additional rounds tomorrow evening as well. So Sunday evening between, we'll just say between 6 and 9 p.m. Activity moving into western Arkansas out of Oklahoma and Texas. I will be storm chasing tomorrow. I'm going to Oklahoma tomorrow. This might be my only storm chase of the season. So meeting up with my buddy Gabe Garfield. So I will not be in the office tomorrow, but I'll be back for Monday. Monday looks like a rough day for us folks. Western Arkansas, maybe even north central Arkansas. This is what Monday could look like at 7 p.m. really strong storms. Unfortunately, the tornado parameters on Monday evening there in western Arkansas, eastern Oklahoma could be quite high. So I posted about that earlier today. So we have severe weather possibilities tonight. So far, it's just been strong storms. We really haven't had a lot of problems. We could do this again tomorrow evening and then again Monday evening too. So I'm not going to touch on that a whole lot since we spoke about that earlier. But yeah, that's what we're dealing with right now, guys. I wanted to just hop on here and do a quick update. I don't plan on doing additional live coverage tonight unless we have tornado warnings, which I don't expect us to. I hope we don't. Please, I hope we don't. But right now, it looks like these storms that are moving through, they're noisy. There's a lot of wind. There might be small hail at times, a lot of rain. But so far, this is just some spring storms, in my opinion. No crazy issues or anything like that. No giant hail, no tornado warning so far. It's just a noisy round of storms. That's kind of what we're dealing with. Lots of lightning, though. So that's kind of a reset on what's going on right now and what you can expect late tonight. Remember, we do have that additional round late. And then we could have more midday Sunday, Sunday evening, and then, of course, the rounds on Monday, which could be strong to severe. I think that's a better chance for strong to severe on Monday evening. So hop on the chat real quick and see if I can answer a couple of questions. Erica Devine says Boonville is jamming with wind and rain, thunder and lightning. Jamming in Boonville. There's a Jam Mart in Boonville, Erica. Did you know that? A sponsor of mine. Well, when is the next round? Will we have time to sleep? Chris, we just spoke about that. It's going to be late. We could have more storms moving in. Well, we can actually look at that. I see severe thunderstorm warnings near Oklahoma City. So, folks, there's more stuff developing here in central Oklahoma, and this is eventually going to move east, southeast with time towards Arkansas. So it's way out in Oklahoma now. It'll probably arrive late, 2, 3 a.m., moving to central Arkansas, 3 to 5 a.m. or so. We'll see how well it holds together. Hopefully it dissolves and goes away so we can all sleep with no problems. Jordan says the power kept flashing at our house in Hartford, went out for about a minute and then came back on. Yeah, there's a lot of lightning here. I live south of Fort Smith. Emily says, on a scale, how high is the tornado risk for Monday in northwest Arkansas? You're putting me on the spot. On a scale of 1 to 10 right now, I'd say it's probably about a 6. Pretty high. Hopefully things change and it kind of goes down, but the early signs don't look too good for us in western Arkansas. We need some stuff to change. Mickey says, thoughts on how severe Pine Bluff can get? Thanks for your coverage. Mickey, I'm not expecting much tonight. There could be some hail and wind, but nothing you have never seen before, I promise. There ain't nothing happening in DeWitt, Arkansas yet at all today. That's a good thing. Yep, might have some storms later tonight, but Alexander says, will Johnson County get bad on Monday? It's possible. The risk on Monday is mainly, I feel like, for the western half of the state. So certainly need to monitor the situation on Monday if you live in the western half of Arkansas, west of Little Rock especially. We talked about this on the live stream earlier tonight, so some of you are getting a repeat on info, but looking at the 850 millibar winds, this is the low-level jet, which I love to forecast when it comes to tornadoes. Pretty strong in the western half of the state. Tornado juice is a good way to describe the low-level jet. Winds that aren't real high off the ground that really feed into supercells, very important. And then looking at the instability too, we have more than enough instability on Monday afternoon. Cape values 3 to 4,000. That is sufficient, more than enough storm fuel to support strong to severe thunderstorms. Lots of spin in the air. Tornado parameters are quite high in western Arkansas. You can see when you see those pink and purple shadings coming out, that's the model screaming at you that there's a good chance that storms could rotate. So Monday evening, western half of Arkansas, northwest Arkansas, eastern Oklahoma, southwest Missouri. Really going to have to watch it, guys. So Rebecca said, what's with the wind in Greenwood? Yeah, it's windy here, isn't it? These storms are spitting out a little bit of wind. Nothing severe, but there's a lot of wind associated, it seems like, tonight with the storms. Sadie says, how is it looking for Arkansas on Tuesday? That's a great question. We have thunderstorm chances again. Some could be severe, mainly eastern Arkansas. The worst of it could be east of our state, though. I'll have more on Tuesday soon. Folks, many of you can go to bed tonight and will have no problems. I'm not saying a thunderstorm won't wake you up tonight, especially if you're a light sleeper, but the tornado risk tonight is not exceptionally high. It's not zero, but it's not high. Storms are possible tonight, but this is nothing you've never seen before. I promise. I promise. Ben says, what about Jonesboro tonight? It's tough to say, man. Jonesboro might miss everything completely tonight. You may catch some late tonight, and then some chances tomorrow, but most of this looks west of you. Jennifer said, is Mina going to be okay tonight? Jennifer, you could have storms. You've had storms already, but you could have more storms late. The severe weather risk is not high. Jason, not tonight. I don't think so, brother. I think any chance for a severe storm is really east or west of there. Drew says, I don't think I've ever seen you without a hat. Yeah, I also have glasses on. I'm tired, guys. I forgot to put my hat on, so y'all don't make fun of my hair. I'm also in my Razorback shirt that I had on last night, so I'm a little bit of a mess right now. Don says, is Hot Springs Village considered central or eastern? Definitely not eastern. Hot Springs to me is more of central Arkansas. Some may say it's west, but I think more so central. Joshua says, by what time do you think this will pass Hot Springs for good? Well, unfortunately, we have storms late tonight, buddy. So we could have storms 3 to 5 a.m. So it might be tomorrow. We could have additional storms in the morning, too. So it might be tomorrow before I can really give you an all clear until tomorrow evening when we have more storms. Misty, the severe weather risk is not real high tonight. Curly says, is Drew County's severe risk over for tonight? No, unfortunately, we could have more storms late, so I can't really rule it out completely. The risk is not high, though. Zach, what about Perry area tomorrow? I want to go fishing. Well, unfortunately, we do have chances for rain and storms throughout the day, scattered. And then we have additional chances tomorrow evening. So I can't rule out activity completely, but I would encourage you to go fishing, make your plans, and just plan around the radar. It's one of those days. Drew says, how's Conway looking? Right now, you're in the clear for the most part. But there is some thunderstorms to your west. Now, if you're in Conway, if you're in central Arkansas, you've got quite a bit of activity to your west now that's moving to the southeast and east that could impact you over the next hour or two. So nothing severe at this time, but it will be noisy when it moves in. Plenty of wind. Are we okay until 4 or 5 a.m. in northwest Arkansas, Zach? Yeah, it seemed like those storms, if they do form and it aligns correctly for northwest Arkansas, it would be late. But some of the models have backed off of that even. Northwest Arkansas is it's been a toss-up the last 24 hours, it seems like. Rebecca says, thank you for your dedication, not just locals in the loop, but keeping all of Arkansas aware. Yep, thank you, Rebecca. I appreciate it. Trace says, cap for Monday in western Arkansas. Trace, can't ever rule out, a capping inversion when it comes to severe weather, but I do feel like we're going to have enough forcing, plenty of lift for storms if we do have a cap. I'm betting on it will erode by the evening and afternoon hours. So, good question. Fran says, how about Fort Smith? Well, storms have already moved through Fort Smith, Fran, but we have more activity to the west that can move in late tonight. Robin says, thunder and lightning in Little Rock. Yeah, those storms are to the south and west of you now. Guys, look at this. So if you're in Little Rock, look at these lightning bolts way ahead of the storms. There's one here in northern Saline County, another one in Saline County. This lightning bolt is 30 miles away from the storm. That's when you know you've got tall storms you're dealing with. But yeah, I'm sure it's probably see lightning and thunder and want to hear thunder in Little Rock. Zach says, how's Greenbrier looking for tonight? Zach, you have chances with this stuff to your west. It may dodge you just to the south, but then we have additional chances late tonight that you could get in on tomorrow morning too. So you have chances tonight is what I'm trying to say. Tornado risk, question mark. The tornado risk tonight is low. It'll be low again tomorrow, and it really goes up on Monday, especially for western Arkansas. The tornado risk tonight is not high. It's not high tomorrow either. Yeah. Mike says Clarksville had lightning bolts way ahead of the storm tonight. It was really neat. Yeah. Folks, last night we had people observing storms from 80 or 90 miles away. And I want to remind you, there is no such thing as heat lightning. That is a myth that you were told growing up. I was told it as well. You're looking at a thunderstorm. It's not heat lightning. That's a thunderstorm that you're viewing. It's just far enough away that you don't hear the thunder. And in the spring, late spring, in summer months, storms can grow to 40, 50,000 feet tall. And you can see the lightning from a long distance, especially if there's clear skies around you. But you're viewing a thunderstorm, I promise. The lightning is not occurring from nothing. But yeah. Yeah, guys, tonight you can sleep, I promise. I'm not saying that you won't be woke up by thunder tonight or storms, but yeah, you can sleep tonight. So my wife and kids have been gone today. They went to Branson and went to the Stampede and went and had dinner, and they're almost home. So I am going to hop off and await their arrival and see them because I'm going to be traveling tomorrow. I'm storm chasing in Oklahoma. Fun fact about me, I have seen a tornado every single year since 2017. I have not missed a year without seeing a tornado. I have not been on a storm chase in 2025, so tomorrow might be my only chance to go. So we'll see. We'll see if I see one tomorrow up in Oklahoma. I'm going to target probably North Oklahoma, Southern Kansas with my buddy Gabe Garfield. So we'll see what happens. I will not be around tomorrow for live coverage. I don't think it will be necessary, but I'll have updates on social media per usual. We'll see what happens, though. I'll be sure to share any stuff with you guys if I do encounter a tornado. So I really appreciate you guys for watching. Really big thank you to Airmasters, 1312 Cleaning and Restoration, Jam Mart, Jody's Auto Service Center in Fort Smith and Van Buren, and Arkansas Online Lawyer for sponsoring this live feed. And I really appreciate all of you for watching. If we have anything pertinent tonight, tornado warnings, I'll be back on live. But if we don't, I'll share updates on social media per usual. And I do want to remind you one last thing. I'm sorry. Tomorrow evening, the severe weather risk doesn't look real high, but Monday, I think our risk does go up. Of course, I'll be here in the office for coverage in western Arkansas because it does look like we might have some issues. So I'm going to make that drive home tomorrow night, even if it's late. So I'm here for Monday. So busy.